It's time to become the best version of yourself and help others do the same. It's Monday morning and we're talking success.
Good Monday morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you. My name's Greg Halliday here at the Soul offices. And I want to, first of all, shout out to those who are already on. It's fun to get to sit down here in the studio and see so many of you already connected. So a little shout out to Coach Rivera, to Terry Sanders from California, to Sadie Yeager from Washington, Utah. Ooh, okay, I like that. You got probably some nice weather down there in Washington, Utah. And let's see, we've got Alvaro and Nubia Medina. Good to see you, and Minnie and Lydia and Dr. Hugh, and we've got EP. That's Eric Patterson. We got Debbie. Shout out to each one of you. Ebony, good to see you too. Courtney, good morning. Great to see you all. We've got a great show this morning. We've got a special guest, Anita Carpenter. Anita is so good at connecting with people. And this February, we're going to continue this theme of being connectors. That's really the whole reason that Soul is set up the way we are, is to help people connect. And hopefully in that journey, people find solutions. They can find them in our products, but I think they find them because of you, because somebody kind of puts their arm out and walks with them and takes them where they can find solutions. I heard once, we share these wonderful herb-based formulas that are adaptogen catalyzed. I kind of like saying it that way because the adaptogens make everything happen in a more balanced way. And we can get results where maybe we had a hard time getting them before. And someone that, I like to quote this, someone that I met many years ago wrote a little pamphlet, a little booklet, and he said it was called Herbs Always Work. And I think I may have shared this in the past. I thought that was a little presumptuous, but I understand what he meant. They always bring their nutrition. Now, in your situation, it might be that those particular herbs were part of the solution, but not all of it. You may not kind of get where you want to go. But the herbs do always work. That nutrition always strengthens, brings more energy. And what we have that we did not have back then here in Soul is the adaptogens. So I just love what we're about, and I hope that it's something that is such a positive. It's an endeavor of uplift for people. That is why we do what we do here at Soul. So now you might notice a 100-count bag of Soul Excel. I'm going to come back to that because this morning's Monday Morning Talking Success is brought to you by that bag, which we are going to give away next week. That's a pretty good bag. That's like $200 of 100 packets of Soul Excel. Why Soul Excel? Well, we'll come back to that, okay? Also, we're going to do drawing today. So today's drawing, I'm going to unbox it for you. Here's the box. Wait, before I unbox this, anybody have any guesses? What's our drawing this morning? When you get on here and you chat, you get yourself in the drawing. So if you're new, unless you're driving right now, if you are, like, pull over before you chat something in, okay? But everybody else, chat something in. Chat hello, because that will get you in the drawing. Oh, look at that. Yep, we got the frothers. You guys know your stuff. What is a frother, you might be asking, in case you haven't seen these before. Well, this isn't just a frother. It's not just any frother. That's a Soul frother. That makes your life better with drinks like the Soul Excel or any of the Soul drinks. Oh, it just makes it easy to get it nice mixed up so that you can go to work putting that adaptogenic nutrition in your body and feel the changes. So we're going to do the frother today, okay? That'll happen at the very end. So I'm going to put it just right here. I'm going to box it back up for you so you get it nice and pristine. And let's jump right into some recognition today, okay? Remember last week we talked about February being the month of connecting. And you know something? There's a lot of snow. There's like weather. Well, I guess if you think about it, all weather is still weather, right? But there's the weather that kind of you get the snowy weather. It can put some inconvenience. And sometimes it does get some people down. Nothing like some really good nutrition and connection with friends to just fix that, put that back on a good course. So February is a month of being a connector. And so take a look at the screen here. That Connect looks a little familiar. We talked about this last week. We have the Soul Connect Surface cleansing spray, but it's also ambient air cleansing, and it is mood enhancing too. All those things. And so in the month of February, we've got some special promotions with it. The people who jumped right on board in the very first week of February and got out and connected, that is anyone who enrolled someone new to the Soul community last week. We're calling you a connector because you are that and you're leading the way. And we actually have a special prize for you that I'm going to announce. But first, let's recognize everyone who did it the first week of February, because we're going to continue through the rest of the month. But this is the first week. So these are our connectors, and I want to give you all a shout out. So we've got Valerie, Corinne, Chris, Lisa, Betty Runkle, Lorianne Reber, Lydia, Tammy Peterson, Marisol Montesano, Anita Carpenter, Carol Bicondova, Kenzie Taylor, Maria Isabel Benitez, Shanna, KB, Ana and Jesus, Maye Flores, Pedro Rivera Soto, Holly Bernal, Gustavo, Angela, and Maria, all connectors in the first week. We're not done. Maria Ramirez, and Belém Leon, and Eneida, and Veronica, and Virginia, Lisa, I guess it's Liza Garcia. It might be Lisa. Depends on if she pronounces her name in Spanish or English. Gayane, Lianci, Maria, Bibiana, Temna. So that looks like a pretty good list of connectors in the first week, right? But we're not done. We're going to keep going because there's a lot more. Ana Duran, Carrie Green, Alma de Leon, way to go. Karen Lemke, Dorda, Abigail, Elvia, Perla, Jaliva. Jaliva's, boy, she's always there connecting people home. Judy Gale, Minnie Cortez. Oh, Minnie. You know what? You haven't lived unless you've heard Minnie talk in a Western accent. Just saying. You haven't lived unless you've heard that. Maria Elena and Salud Natural and Yaritin, Erica, Eric Patterson, Sylvia Solorzano, Jordana Espinosa. These are all wonderful connectors just in week one. So happy and proud of you guys. Miriam Alvaros, Olinda Bordon, Rebecca Gonzalez, Clarice. Ooh, I like that name, Clarice. Pat Alakim. And oh, look at that. Okay, this is a chiropractic office. Bugelsdyke, I think is how I'm going to say that. Hopefully I pronounced it right. They're pretty new. I love that. Denia and Wendy's and Lily Mari Hidalgo and Luisa Fiares and Angela Nolasco, Gabriela Luce, Lydia Rutov, Domnica Ivanov. These are our first week connectors. Is that just impressive? Are you guys feeling like I am? We're not even done. We're not done. There's more. Luz de Aquino and Kelsey Bartley and Susan Mason. Okay, you guys. I wanted to read you all off because I love that. And I hope that February can be such a great month of connection. It's the difference maker. It is for me. I'll admit that. Connecting with people is all the difference in how I feel. And I think just overall optimism in life and just so many good things are tied to people. So thanks for being connectors. And guess what we're going to do? All of you who led the way in February, who jumped out on the first week, Be As We Speak. If you don't be here in the Soul office, Be As We Speak is adding 10 Soul rewards. So yeah, there are other benefits that already happened through your connecting. All the normal benefits and bonuses apply, but we're just going to throw on an extra 10 rewards for all of you who jumped out in the first week. Consider it done. Sometime today, it'll be on your account. So well done, everybody. Now, next week, we're going to do something for week 2. We're just starting week 2, right? All of this week through Sunday night. Okay, that's this next phase of our month of being a connector. We're going to just do a drawing this coming week. So everybody that is connecting this week is going to get a special prize. Now, before I tell you the exact rules of that, let's just review these promotions for February. First of all, let's show that first slide. So be a connector in February. This is what we started last week, and it continues. We've got 2 things for you. Number 1, your Share the Wealth code, which is a link that every Soul account has. Specialist and member. And when that link is texted to somebody or sent in any way electronically, and that person clicks and starts their soul journey with their first purchase, they get to save $10. That's what we mean by share the well. Share the WELL. And it's also wealth because the person who shared the link gets 10 rewards in their account that they can use toward product purchase. I love the Share the Wealth program. In February, we enhanced it. The new person who's buying for the first time, instead of saving 10, they get to save 20. That's going on all month of February. So you've got that message that you can bring to those people who have been on your mind or who will come to your mind this week, that they can save extra and you can share your link with them, okay? Now, the second part of being a connector is all of those who enroll someone in February get a free bottle of Soul Connect spray. And that's the surface disinfectant and ambient air disinfectant and mood enhancing spray that's perfect for this time of year, for that cold and flu season time of year. So now you only earn one of those. So even though you might be connected with multiple people in February, you just get one, but everybody gets one. And that's the power. A person who's brand new, if they share with somebody this month too, they'll get one. Everybody, we want to get a bunch of those Soul Connect sprays out there because they're a good thing to have in February, okay? So, just in review, all month long this is going on. Your Share the Wealth code is a double savings for the new person. They get $20 instead of $10 savings. And you get a free Connect spray when you do it. Here were a couple of assets that are found in the content bank. You can use these if you'd like. Here's one example of how to share it. I won't go through them today because we did it last week. Here's example number 2 that Carly prepared, giving people options. And here's example number 3, which is a third way to do it. So go back and look at last week's if you want, or just those of you familiar with social media, you'll probably just take a quick look and see what Carly's doing. You can do your own, of course, but if you'd like a starting point or something to spur some ideas or something that you could use yourself, you can do that. These are usable. And here's some other assets that have been created. I believe in all of these assets too that are created that you can use. There's also a little asterisk added where it shows, remember that for a person to take advantage of the $20 off in February, their purchase needs to be $65 or more. So they'll be paying $45 if it's a $65 purchase. So there is a minimum. There is a minimum of $65 to make that discount work for everybody. Okay, so there you go. And then you get the Soul Connect bottle all month long. So make sure that everyone in your team gets one of these free. It's perfect for winter season, isn't it? Here's one final asset that was designed by Mr. Kendall Bird. It's a nice little, it might be a message you could text out or send out to somebody. Are you struggling this cold and flu season? Well, let's connect. And what do we mean by connect? Well, we mean connect. It's this wonderful purified water, pure essential oils, sunflower lecithin, vegetable glycerin, and infused in alcohol in a spray form to give you all of that ambient air and surface cleanliness, but also promoting balanced emotions, positive mindset, alertness, focus, and stimulating motivation, all those things. So Connect is it's an awesome product designed by Jennifer Presimo. Okay, so what's coming next week? It's pretty easy. This week, all of you that are out there connecting, we're going to put you in a drawing, and it's super easy. We're going to give away next Monday morning this bag of 100 count Soul Excel worth more than $200, and you get one ticket in that drawing per new enrollment this week. So as you're out there sharing, have some fun, and you'll be in the drawing. You never know, huh? Meanwhile, we've got all those other good things that will happen for everyone, regardless, that I just mentioned for February in sharing. So hopefully it's a fun month of connection for everybody. Now, I believe that it is time to mention a tool that I think can be super useful in connecting with other people, and that is placing them in a spot where they can hear other people's experiences. And maybe, perhaps, they hear something that is exactly what they're going through, or something that is exactly someone that they know is going through, or they're a family member or a friend or an associate. For this reason, testimonials are so powerful because they are real experiences, which mean more than any other piece of education that we could give, I think, because they're real life experiences from people. Now, if we'll look real quickly, if you look on the Soul site, there's a new section added, and I think we announced this last week, or really, really recently. Maybe it was at the at a Soul showcase we did. Notice the reviews section. When I click on reviews, excuse me, I can see all of these experiences. And I'll scroll down a little bit, okay? Now that we're there, so you can see these videos right away, and we're going to watch one of them. They're really brief. And there is a little bit of a summary transcription of the video there that a person could glance at. And then notice how you've got, besides the videos, a lot of written experiences or written reviews from people. And you'll recognize some of these names and some you won't. And notice that I can click on load more and I get another whole set, and load more. And I get another whole set, and load more. And it just keeps going. There are lots of wonderful experiences in here that I can sort of surf through and find that thing that might be the difference maker for me or for my friend. If I keep going down below the written reviews, I get to some more video testimonials, and I get some other information, an invitation that I can begin a journey that is a better place for me physically and emotionally, with these wonderful products and people, the Soul products and the Soul community. You can trust this, our partnership and the community. And it ends with this wonderful story. Satinka shared recently in a Soul Showcase her story. Her story is really, really eye-opening. If you haven't listened to hers yet, if you're newer, listen to Satinka too, okay? But let's go ahead and let's play one of the videos. I think we chose a different one today. Satinka's is a little longer. Let's go ahead and play that video that we wanted to watch today. I think we're going right back to the top. Oh, we're going to listen to Tammy. All right, here we go. Let's hear what Tammy says.
I remember being a young mom, and I would wake up every day with that feeling in your chest of anxiety and shakiness, and you didn't know if you were going to rage or cry or just shut down. That has been gone since day one for me. And I've been using them for 13 years now. And I still have days that I don't feel good, but nothing is like that.
Short and sweet and to the point.
Hi, I am Tammy Peterson.
Short and sweet and to the point with Tammy. Soul can be that immediate for people. I love watching that because I know lots of people where, in fact, I'll say this, the vast majority of people feel something positive immediately. And then it's just varying degrees depending on what they're going through. But the positive change happens immediately. And so I love this page. Now, one little piece of a tip that I'd throw out there this morning. When you share this page, when you're connecting with people, share it from your replicate site. So you can get on your own replicate site and you can copy the link. Once you get to this page, just copy the URL and text that to somebody. That way, when they click, they're viewing these reviews not from our corporate side. They're viewing it through your replicate site. And if they decide to go around and search out products, maybe a product was mentioned, sometimes they are in the reviews, then they're already on your site. And if they choose to buy something, that actually gets connected directly with you. Soul is all about the connections. Why do we do that? It's not simply a business strategy. It is the very lifeline of how you help people. When we have a connection, we have a place where we came from when we embark on a journey, we know where we can go for advice, for adjustments, or any kind of feedback, any kind of question that we might have. And that's why we do so much around connecting, because that is the power. That is what really levels up the power of change in people's life. The connection. If I feel isolated, I might change a little or a lot, but I definitely feel like I have to go it alone. We don't want that at Soul. It's all about connecting. So today's tip is to share the reviews area. Use that as you see fit in your connecting with people, but share it through your replicate site, okay? that's a tip on there. Now, I will ask you too. Hope asked me to, if you don't know, if you're newer, Hope Anderson is a marketing director here at Soul. She said, maybe ask people, what different ways do you use the reviews page? So if you've got feedback on that, you can text Hope directly. You can text us through customer support. Text any of us directly, or even talk to your mentor, and they can reach out to us. Tell us how you're using it, and that will help us design what we do with it and how we structure our reviews, because that is something that you're probably noticing we're doing much more of throughout the whole website and not just this reviews area. All right, everybody. So that's a little tip for using reviews in your connecting. And now we come to our guest today, our special guest. She is a Soul Elite and someone who I think is just such a master of connecting with others. I'm going to say it this way. She's sort of an effortless master at it. Now, she's a hard worker, and maybe if you ask her, she might say, well, there's a lot of hard work. Yeah, I think so. But there's a lot of heart in that hard work. And I've just noticed over the years, there are a lot of different ways that she connects with people. So I asked Anita Carpenter if she would join us this morning, and we could talk for just a minute with you about the different ways that she connects with people. So Anita, how are you doing? How's that connection feeling with our Wi-Fi was a little iffy this morning, but how you feeling now?
I'm feeling good, and I hope it decides to feel good too.
Oh, it's perfect. Okay, it sounds good. You sound great. So Anita, tell me, I guess one question just to start. You connect with people in different ways. Could you maybe just share a couple of the ways that you like to connect to people for the first time?
I am a one-on-one person personally for myself. I like to talk either on the phone or face to face. And texting is okay, but you don't see emotion, you don't hear. And so texting is a little bit more for me impersonal. So I like to do face to face or on the phone. And another way is written. I absolutely love to write cards to people. Some of it for my organization is a necessity because they don't have technology, but also for any of my people, I do like to write. And what I like to do is touch as many senses as possible when I'm in touch with someone. And so often when I'm standing by someone, I'll reach out and touch their arm. And then we can talk. I visually see them. They visually see me. So, the touching the five senses the best I can is how I like to do it.
Well, I think, Anita, speaking of cards, I can tell you I've been the recipient of a couple of cards from Anita and her team. Once in a while, in fact, this coming week, I'll be heading up to Michigan to Anita's area with her team, and we're going to do some classes with a variety of communities that Anita reaches out to. And that was my next question, is how do you, you deal with a lot of different communities. In other words, you don't just have like a certain kind of person you're comfortable with, and you're like, I reach out to these people because these are my people. I noticed you have various groups of people, Anita. And I'll just say this before you respond. In prior trips, I'll come back and I'll find a couple weeks later, I'll get this nice card, this handwritten card. So when Anita says she uses cards, I've actually been the beneficiary of them too. And they do lift by day. It's just, you feel the love and the connection and the support. And I'm sure that anyone who gets cards from you, Anita, feels the same way. So I love the cards. But tell me, how is it that you came to like work with different community groups? Because you work with different demographics.
They, wow, they just seem to come. you know, I, I don't hesitate to talk to people on the street. It's very seldom that I'll walk down the sidewalk. I live in this little town and I'll take walks downtown. And it's very seldom that I don't say hello to people. In fact, if they walk by my house, there's several people that will walk their dogs or they take their morning walk. I will open my door and greet them and just tell them to have a good day or good morning. The mailman, if I catch him putting the mail in my mailbox, I'll open the door and just greet him. And so it's, I don't always touch on soul, but I touch on the soul. And if we do that, there's a connection and they'll reach out. Another way, too, that I've connected, I do some social media. You don't see me on there probably as much. I know you don't see me on there as much as some. But it seems that when an idea comes to me to post, I get a lot of traction with it. And people, and when I turned 65, I put 65 days to 65, and every day I would post the things that I did, and I asked for suggestions on things to do in my 65 days to 65, and one of them was a picnic in the park. And so every Tuesday, I at noon, I was at the park and would have a picnic. And I touched anybody that wanted to stop in Lakeview. I would They would bring a lunch and we'd sit and chat. And I was sure to get to everyone. I was sure to talk to them, look at them eye to eye, usually touch their shoulder, ask how they're doing. It wasn't all about me. I had them there. I wanted to know how they were doing. So being interested in them. And people still talk to me about that. And that's almost 2 years ago. So just a variety of ways. I hope that answers that question, Greg.
That was awesome. Because that's one of the things, one of your qualities I've seen over the years too, is that you always are hearing and listening to other people's ideas, and you'll apply a lot of them. You always do it in the way that you're comfortable, but I just see new ideas. They don't get blocked, in your strategies, because you'll put them into just like that idea, because you had heard that from someone, right? That wasn't your the 65. Yeah, someone had talked about it, but you put it into practice. There are a number of things I've seen in my experience with Anita where she's heard something, thought about it, and then she decides to apply it. Now, one thing I know we did recently, Anita, you tried advertising in a community paper in your area too. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about that one?
So about a year ago, I really felt impressed to put an ad, and this was a suggestion from someone else also. And I sat on it for several years because it's going to cost some money to do that. And so one of the Amish periodicals, they send it out 2 times a month. And so that thought just kept going around and around in my mind. And then I learned a little bit on Canva, and some of my wonderful soul sisters taught me a little bit more about it. And so I was able to glean from them and make a Canva post or advertisement. And I put it in the Amish periodical. And I did that for several months, just myself. And then when I was at Ignite, there were several there, and I said, hey, let's get the word out a little bit more about soul. I don't need it just for me. I mean, I'm fine helping people. I want to help my people or people in soul know about soul. And so I said, so many of the Amish people are saying, how long have you been around? I've never heard about you. And I'm like, we have got to get the word around. So now at the last part of last year and now all through this year, there's a group that live in Amish community that are all going together so we can do a bigger advertisement and more often and cover a little bit more ground. So we're touching people through that. They're seeing the soul picture. They're seeing the soul logo. They're hearing a little bit about it, whatever we can put in there. So that was a huge community effort because someone gave me the idea and really stuck with me, pushing me to do that. And then some others helped with the Canva or the flyers or whatever it was. And then a group have gone together to make it possible to afford to be able to do this.
I love that, Anita, because you did connecting on 2 different layers. One was within Soul Brand Specialists. Hey, let's power up and leverage the power of the community. Let's do it together. And then the other, of course, is just reaching more people in a particular community. And I know there are different papers, and the Amish have their papers, and there are different. The principle there is applicable on so many fronts, where you can find communities who even like certain topics or certain areas of special interest. It can be like outdoor groups. There are a lot of groups that you can, in the way that makes the most sense, show your presence there. And I think it really struck me when you told me that someone had mentioned to you, I think even just a few months after the ads, didn't you have someone say something like, hey, I saw I need to start looking into soul because I'm seeing them around more. Something like that. Had you heard
That's
that
happening
from?
more and more.
That's happening more and more.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do think it's.
In fact, just this weekend, I had two people call because they had seen the ad and said, "Can your product really help this?"
Yeah.
So,
So what a great example. Just being there, and they see it, they feel it, and they know, oh, they're here. They're here to stay. I can count on them. I love that. Yeah, okay. So that's a wonderful one too. Now I don't know. You've done a little bit with Zoom
mhm.
here and there. You've done some Zoom. Tell me about, because you like face to face. How much do you use Zoom connecting, like any type of video conferencing? Do you use that much, Anita?
I use it mostly for my downline to do training, keep in touch with them. That's pretty much how I use it, and we focus more. Like we're having, as Greg said, he's going to come and share in several, and it's not just all Amish this time. There's going to be a large English group that he's going to be sharing with, and then some Amish. But the one-on-ones and talking to people, we've all gotten so busy. Sometimes we don't take the time to do it. And I would just encourage you, if you're not doing some, like just even little gatherings, get people together so that you can see them. And Annette and Susan, Annette Rogo and Susan Friesen have done gatherings at their home, and Joanne Lehman. So I'm mentioning them because I'm close enough I can go to some of their things. And just to see the people that they're connected with helps me feel connected. So even though you may not feel like, oh, these one on one things are for me, you don't have to do them a lot. But I tell you, that is a huge connection for me, because when one of the ladies says so and so, says their name, and I might not know them right away, but if they tell me a little bit about what they look like, then I can recall them. And it puts that connection. Then I can remember and really reach out and touch their lives.
I love that, Anita. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that I'm looking forward to this week together. There's a place and a time for these in-person events, and they are super powerful. I like that you use the video conferencing and others for connecting with your leaders and your group. I also enjoy that because I like to see someone when I'm talking. I prefer it over the phone. I'm fine with the phone. I like to see people. It's like you said, there's nothing, when you can see their eyes and their body language, I don't know, there's less misunderstanding, in
Exactly.
things. Okay, I had a couple of other things. Let me look at our time here, Anita. Okay, we're doing okay here. A couple other quick questions for you too. So you also for many years were an office manager for a chiropractic office. And
Mhm.
Anita's here. By the way, you guys, Anita, sometimes we'll talk through this. We haven't talked through any of this. So this is all, Anita's like, oh, I wonder what he's going to ask me. These are all just first responses. I kind of like that. I hope you're okay with that, Anita.
Well, I'm
But
fine.
I love how you've stayed connected, because how many years now did you retire from that position? How many years has it
It's
been?
it's been almost 4.
Yeah, and yet what's so amazing, and this is I think a testament to the caliber of people, both in that office and you, Anita, how you work with people, your relationships. It feels like you're just as tight and close working together with some of the wonderful people at that office, and that office and its activity seems just wonderfully engaged as always. Could you comment on, like, what have you done to keep that relationship good? So this is sort of I don't know, a place that before was a daily part of your life, and
Mhm.
it's not now, but you've kept that connection. What are some of the things you've done to keep that connection strong with them?
Um, they're very dear friends after working there. I knew them before, but once I worked there, they were very dear friends. But what I do there is what I want to give you a phrase that we used to use there: tickle the files. So what we would do at the chiropractic office is we would go through the files, whether it was when I first got there, it was paper files, and then we went digital. So whichever way it was, we would go through and see all the people that we've had. Oh, so and so hasn't come in 6 years, or wow, I wonder how their family's doing. We would start talking about, we haven't seen them in a while. How are they doing? And this place also at the chiropractic office was huge on cards. If we knew anybody was having, a family issue, or we would thank them for things they would do for our office. So cards are very important. But anyway, we'd tickle the files. And believe it or not, if we hadn't seen someone for a while, we would soon get a call from them. It was really quite amazing. So it's a very unique follow-up program. I wouldn't encourage it all the time, but I would encourage everybody, just with Dr. Kathy's, the chiropractic office, I will pull down her downline sometimes and look at those names and just think about them. Oh, I know them. How are they doing? And just this last week, one of her specialists that's never done anything as a specialist signed someone up. So I tickled her files. I had just gone through. And so I do that with all of my downline. I'll just bring down a downline, and I will look through many of the people I know or know of them because of the specialist. And then as my specialist sign a new person up, or someone shows up on the downline, I will text them and say, hey, you had a new sign up, or congratulations. And so it's just keeping track of what is happening in your downline. And it's not that hard. Lydia has this amazing follow-up program, and I encourage everyone to have one, which I do have one, but I'm just talking about my tickle the file follow-up right now.
I love that, Anita. I love that phrase too. We got a really good secret that shouldn't be. To me, these wonderful principles are secrets that shouldn't be a secret. And they're not, because you're sharing it now. Tickle the files. It's being intentional about thinking over the people that you've connected in the past, or that are in any way connected to you or those that you work with. Isn't it amazing how it really does? Things happen,
Yes.
that intentionalization of that thoughtfulness. Sometimes it results in you sending a message or a card, but what I'm hearing you saying is sometimes it's you pondering over it, and things just happen. You sort of have
Yes.
that energy that you put out there. And
There's one
Anita,
more
please.
thing, Greg. There's one more thing I thought of. In the mornings, I sit really quiet, and there are names that will come to my mind, people I haven't maybe dealt with in years, or seen or heard from. Not only business, often it happens with business, but sometimes just people in my life. And those names will come, and right by my the place where I said it's on this love seat at the end of that, I have index cards. And when those names start coming, I write them down and I date it. And then within just a few days, I am in touch with them, either through a text, if that's the way I feel it needs to be, a phone call, or a card. And so these names will come to you. So I don't tickle any files. I just sit and I'm really still. And those names, there will be names that come to me. And they're names that when I do contact them, it's like something's happened in their family, or there's a joy, or there's a sorrow, or whatever. And they're like, how did you know? And I said, I just felt like I was supposed to contact you today. So, and that really happens. So
I love that. I think it's such a great example of when people are the focus, then things like that can happen. And I'll speak for myself. When someone reaches out in that timely moment, it can make all the difference, really.
yes.
And it does. It creates a bond to me that's a forever bond. And I think people are that way. I should add, I love these two things. The Tickle the Files is about people you've already connected with, and then your quiet time in the morning is about really anyone, whether you've connected with them or not in the past. It's what I'm hearing. But you're doing both of those things. And it leads me to my next point, Anita, that I wanted to ask you about, which is just, you've kind of answered it really. It's about follow up, the manner in which you follow up with people, which follow up is connecting. It's simply connecting. It's connecting after we already have, I guess, And I bring it up because we've talked about it before, and I don't want to embarrass you, Anita, in front of anybody. But there's the mentor bonus. There's a special bonus called Mentor Bonus. Mentoring is about connecting people. and bringing people to solutions and to the community, and helping people see what they can have through Soul. And that bonus with Anita, I will tell you, it's outstanding. That's the only word. That bonus has been 600-700. I'm trying to think. Is your high? Have you been to almost $1,000? And I don't usually bring cash into this because it can get misinterpreted by people. That one bonus, not the Smart Plan, not all the main places where you earn money, but the mentor bonus, which is a bonus given on reorders. That bonus for Anita is always up in that range, which is just phenomenal. But listening to you here, Anita, I'm like, okay, I get this. Because Anita tickles the files. Anita reaches out. She spends quiet time. She opens the door to say hi to the mailman when he comes by, opens the front door. I mean, I just think people, they sense that openness. Let me ask you, Anita. Okay, yes, here we are. Let's wrap it up. But let me ask you. I always ask this question because you do have a number of newer people that join your team. Mm-hmm. What are one or two things that you think, first of all, you want them to know that have to do with, I guess, anything, but maybe connecting as well? Are there one or two things that you always tell people very early on if they want to be a brand specialist?
One thing that I would say is Soul, me as an upline, Soul as a corporate, we're here to help. We're here to answer your questions and help you. And I'll tell people often, if I don't have the answer, I will find it, because we have such wonderful people that are willing to share knowledge, and they all have the same heart, of touching lives. And then with new people taking the product, I ask them to give it 3 months. And that's one reason probably why the mentor bonus is as high as it is, because we start right from the get-go. I'm not trying to make money. However, it is my living, but my desire is to see them better. And so I ask them to give 3 months, and then I stay in touch with them those 3 months. And then at the end of it, we reevaluate and then go from there. And I have many, many, many staying on the products just because it's made such a difference in their lives.
Yes, you do. And lots of happy people connected to you and the rest of the Soul community. You connect people to the rest of the community. Well, Anita, thank you so much for spending time. I know it's a big week, lots of things planned, and here you are. You still joined us this morning on Monday Morning Talking Success. So thank you for your time with us this morning. We'll see you soon. And everybody, we'll wrap up. Let's do our drawing. We'll wrap up this morning. Hope your week starts off just wonderfully well. I'm glad you're here. So let's do a drawing. Oh, I should have had Anita. Usually I have the guests tell me when to pick the paper out, but I've just do it myself here. You saw me. I wasn't looking at who is it? This is Heidi. Okay, Heidi Niedermeyer.
Yes.
Heidi, you just won the frother. If you don't have one, you got one now. You got a Soul frother. They're unlike any other frother because they blend adaptogen catalyzed drinks for you. Well, thank you everybody for being part of Monday Morning. Next week, remember, we're going to give away our Soul Excel 100. So enjoy a week of connecting. See if you can't make somebody's life better this week and get them on a journey that's going to bring them a lot of health and happiness. We'll see you next week, everybody.